Alafia. Alafia Queens, how are y'all doing? Good morning, good afternoon.
Okay, I'm gonna sit still.
Actually live.
Thank you so much.
I pressed the button.
You're gonna.
Oh,
okay. I don't know how you plug in. I'm sorry.
Welcoming everyone. Oh yeah.
I don't know how you view it.
Oh yeah, are you there? We are live. How are you? Yeah, oh yeah, Boomy, how are you? I love you, ladies.
So close that.
You know, I came on before time. How y'all doing?
Good.
Yeah, I'm thinking I can see it already.
Okay. So I just need to close this.
Yeah, close it. Oh, there you go.
I love you.
Lafia.
Someone is playing oh yeah music. Well, I am here. Thank you so much. I am on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Yes, I am so honored and happy to have this day to speak about the goddess Oya, our mother, the divine, the medicine woman, the sensual, loving, powerful goddess. So as we wait, I am going to go ahead and sing to Oya.
Sure.
So that as we're getting welcome, ladies, Iya Oya Bumi and Oya Yode.
Sure, Lafia.
Thank you. Y'all are not strangers to my platform, so welcome.
I do plan.
And I am actually the producer and the director today.
All right now.
Yes, the power of
transformation.
Yes. So I am also on Instagram. So we're working it on all angles. I'm so happy that we have on here Ifakemi, Wemi Oshun. We have with us a whole bunch of people. Journeyman, Elevated Conjure, Baba Akashemi. We have a whole bunch of people on there. So thank you so much. We have Maria, Red Tail 11, Nashira, Oshunrire, Alafia, everyone. Ranisha, Riri, Ray, I think that's Ray. So welcome to our show. So in the meantime, while we're waiting for everyone, because we got like 3 minutes, we just want to welcome everyone. Aquarium, God, Ranisha. So welcome everyone. So while we're waiting, I'm just going to do a chant to Oya so we can invoke her presence and her power. And this song is The Revolver, who twists, turns things upside down, turns off. Long life to you. Revolver, who turns, twists, and puts things upside down and turns it off. The owner of children arrives. Shout for joy. We turn off to meet her. The terror has arrived. Noisily she arrives. Who splits, has tradition, and sometimes wears trousers. Woohoo! So we're going to sing as we bring Oya in. By the way, ladies, y'all look fabulous. Looking like Oya with her sensual, loving, passionate self. Ayiloda Oya kuo. Olomode kejo ayaba. Ayiloda Oya kuo. Olomode kejo ayaba. Oyade ariwo. Oyansa loro shokoto. Oyade ariwo. Oyansa loro shokoto. Ayiloda Oya kuo. Olomode kejo ayaba. Ayiloda Oya kuo. Olomode kejo ayaba. Oyade ariwo. Oyansa loro shokoto. Oyade ariwo. Oyansa loro shokoto. Ayiloda Oya kuo. Olomode kejo ayaba. Ayiloda Oya kuo. Olomode kejo ayaba. Oyade shokoto. Oyade ariwo. Oya saloro shokoto. Oyade oya masete kumbele. Oyade oya masete kumbele. Oya masete kumbele. Oyade oya masete kumbele. 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 Ayiloda oyaku olomode yo ayaba. Ayiloda oyaku olomode yo ayaba. Oyade ariwo oya salobo shokoto. Oyade oya masete kumbele. 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 Oyade oya masete kumbele.
Wow.
Ashe.
Yeah, I share you, Lord.
Bring that in, bring that energy up in here as we meditate and give praise to the goddess, the mother, the owner, the facilitator, the greatness. Ashe. So I'm excited. I stay excited. And he just take it out. But my audio is open side. I have a lot of the passion. The passion just comes, that's on my head. So Obatala says, let's give her a little fire. So I'm so grateful today for you beautiful queens, Oya Bumi and Oya Yode. I bow. The mother goddesses. We are here today giving honor to the mama. My favorite auntie is Oya, the stripper, the cutter, the enhancer, the sensual, the vivacious, the warlike, peaceful, graceful, the one who Shango fell in love with because of her grace and her demeanor and her ability to just enrapture you. And when she's on the other side, when she wants to protect her children, then she becomes the warrior. And she boshokoto, she put on her pants, she goes to war for her children.
Sure.
And so today, and the Ask Yeyefini show, as we praise Oya, we bring forth women who have walked this path, who know this path, who have both sides, the side that we see every day, that is the sensual, giving, loving energy of allowing people to say, what is your magic? It's always about the magic of, you want to know what's up with this, how you do this. And then you get to know, and you know that it's from the place, Oya is one of the most giving and loving Orisha, because she knows that all of us are heading to her. From the day we're born, we're on our way to death. And so she allows us to have many deaths, little reconstructions, little shifts in our perspective about life. Those are the little deaths. And she just waits for us just lovingly, because she knows all of y'all are coming to me. And if you open your heart and your arms to embracing the things that make her love you, which is to take care of abandoned children, to take care of our parents, to take care of our loved ones, to be a champion for the culture. That's who Oya is. She is a serious, extremely passionate, earth-changing energy. And during this time of the fall equinox and the season of Oya, we just bow to her and giving her thanks that she is shifting things. And she came in with a roar this time. She came in with tornadoes and flooding, all of the things to let us know. If you followed the prescriptions of Obatala of last month and sitting on the mountaintop and realizing that the things that you think are important, you have the opportunity to change your perspective so that when she comes through and she cuts it and she moves it, you're able to say, Mo dupwe iya. Thank you, Mama, for changing it. Versus you don't do the work with Obatala cycle of number 8 and you believe that you are it and you can do whatever you want to, and then she makes you bow during this season. So this is the season of Oya, our divine mother, our powerful. I want to do a prayer from the book Iwure, Healing Powers of Prayer by Yeyefini Buribon. It's a beautiful prayer. I'm not going to do it in Yoruba because I don't know the tones and all of that. So I would do it in English. So I want everyone to just close your eyes as we do this prayer to Oya and we invoke her. We already call her. And so we are asking you now to just witness her. Oya, the powerful dust, the wind that breaks the tree on top. It is good to watch her like a film. Oya fought water. Water became cloudy. She uproots the tallest tree. She removes her house and puts it on top of others. Owner of the gong for war, the great deity. Salvage me. Owner of emergency bell. It is Oya who makes their house unstable. Favorite of Shango. Wherever Shango goes, Oya follows him. Like fire and wind, like the snail and its shells, the spider and its web. The privilege of Oya is my pride. It is the head of the buffalo we used to sing. Oya, the great dancer. Oya, the beautiful one. Please spare my head. Don't use it to make soup. I was not among who laughed at you. Please spare my head. You who live in the dome of Oludumare. And I just want you to know that, Oya, whatever you're going through right now in your life, Oya is sweeping the winds of change for you. Embrace it. See her. Let her wrap her arms around you. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Now we're ready. Ashe. We're ready for our mother. There is a story about Oya and on Ogun and how she became the buffalo woman. Because Oya, that's why in her shrine you have the buffalo horns that you call her with. And this is from the Odu of Ogunda Sa. Of Osagunda, sorry. Osagunda, that says that there was a hunter who wanted to catch animals and to feed his family. And he went to Ifa, and Ifa told him what to bring to make a ball. He had to bring some yam, he had to bring some chickens, he had to bring some other things. In our tradition, we bring things from the earth to praise and to transform itself. And so he went to the market. He went to the woods to hunt. And in the hunting, what he found was nothing. He couldn't find any animal. So he just perched on the top of a tree and said, you know what? I'm just going to wait. And when the lights come, then I'll get down and I'll go home, because this was a bust. I didn't get anything. So this beautiful woman, he sees her comes through. He says, oh my God, and she's just coming and but in her place, what she is actually a buffalo. And she is coming through as a buffalo. And he says, But he sees the buffalo starts peeling herself off. She takes her face off, her arms off, her legs off. And she put it by this anthill, and she then sees herself. as everyone would see her. And so she gets all her bundles up because she used to sell, what's the thing that I love so much? Lemon seed. Lemon, that looks like scrambled eggs. I forgot. Anyway, it was the seeds that she was selling in the market. So she takes her stuff and she goes to the market. She goes to the market, and then the hunter says, "Whoa, I'm gonna take these skins." So he had gone to get a reading to learn how to hunt, but at the same time, he wanted to have a wonderful situation. So he did his ball. He took the skin, the thing that she had bundled up, and he took it. Went to the market, and he says, "Oh my God, your melon seeds are just so wonderful. I don't have enough money. So can you give it to me and then you come to my house and pick up the money at the end of the day?" What happened? Y'all know how I tell stories. So she was like, "Okay, at the end of the day, when I'm done, then I can go with you and get my money." So she said, "Okay." So she's coming down the road and she starts singing, "Melon seed seller, melon seed seller." And so she probably was singing, "I low down Yakuo." And so he said, "Oh, over here." She said, "Oh, okay." He says, "Oh, would you like, oh, you're tired. You've had a long day. Would you like something to eat?" And she said, "Yes, thank you so much." And he was falling in love with her. And he says, "Well, how about some drink?" They had some wine. They probably had it chilled and ready. So they ate and everything. And she said, he said, "Well, it's time to go. And I need to leave now," because she knew she had to go and re-transform herself. And at that time, he says, "Well, why don't you just stay here with me?" And she's like, no." He says, "Well, I have something that will force you to stay here, and you cannot leave me." And so she went on to say, "Okay," because she knew she needed that to transform herself to her original state, which is the buffalo. So she went ahead with it, and she stayed there, and they married, and she had children, and he had other wives. So he hid it in a place up in the rafters of the house, and no one knew where it was. And so she started having children. She had one child, she had two children, she had three children with him, and he promised, she told him, "I will stay here if you promise me never to tell my secret." And he says, "Okay." Because she was an industrious woman. She was beautiful. She had her market thing. She used to sell out every day. And so that was the agreement. "I'll stay here with you. I'll marry you and all of this if you don't tell anyone my secret." Okay. One day, the co-wives decide, "How come you have this attention and this attachment to this woman?" He said, "Because she's a good woman. I mean, she's beautiful. We work together." And they would, "No, we need to know, where is she from? We don't know. We don't have, none of her family members have ever come here." Because, in marriages and that in Yoruba land, the family always comes and you meet them and stuff. "Where did you meet this woman?" It's not important where I met her. The work that she does proves that she's this worthy of it. So anyway, they decided, "Oh, really?" They got him drunk one night. They got together, those co-wives got together, and they made him drunk. And then they said, "Oh, please tell me, what is the reason that you have, how is this woman? What's her magic? What's her..." He said, "Okay. I'm going to tell you, if y'all just leave me alone. She's a buffalo, and that's who she is. She's a buffalo woman, and she turns into that, and that's it. So leave me alone." They started laughing at her. They started, "Oh my God, she's not human. She's not human." So in her tears and her frustration, she went and she got her skin, and she transformed herself back into the buffalo. And she went into the town. Now, a buffalo is a very large animal that when it comes through, every animal disappears. It runs. And so as she was going into the town and see the buffalo, everyone saw the buffalo, they were running. She killed the first wife, kept running. She killed the second wife. She killed the third wife, and she ran to him, and he says, "Oh, my wife, do not kill me. Have I not been good to you? Have I not given you those things that you are? Please do not kill me. Do not." help me, please, because I am sorry that I gave your secret. And she says, from this day forth, she took her skin off, she took her horns off, and she gave them to her babies. She gave them to her children, and she says, I am going away. And whenever you want to call me, you call me with my horns. And so she left. She allowed him to live. And some people say that was a wound. Some people say it was just a hunter, and the story can change. So that one of the things in the story is that, sometimes when you're given a secret, under no circumstances should you break it, because it could cause your death and the destruction of your family. And the other thing is that be careful what you drink and who you drink with. And so that is one of the reasons that we see that Oya has the horns of the buffalo. She left them for her children. And Oya is known for the Orisha that whenever her children are in need of her help and she calls them, she's fearless. She will kill left, right, center. She's blinded by the love and the passion that she has in support of her children. So during this time that we're having the celebrations for Oya, and we see her manifestation and how she's cutting through and how she's cut through different things, this is the time for us to humble ourselves and acknowledge that if you need her help, at the end of this, later on, we'll give you how to set up her altar and all of that. But know that it's very important to be loyal. It's very, very important to be loyal, because if you're not loyal, it says that Oya will destroy you. That's why oaths are said on Oya. She will destroy you because what happened to her. And that's why in the prayer it says that I did not laugh at you. Please don't take me and make soup, because she will kill you and eat you in a nice, delicious little morsel. So I just wanted to share that story for those who are aware of Apatakiza stories, know that as the way that we interpret these things is that we know that the Orishas, the gods, were once human and they had the same abilities and weaknesses. And for us to understand that in moving through our lives, this time of change is a time that everything that we do for change is about bringing us the sense of peace and calm and honesty and integrity. So thank you. I just wanted to share that. Now, we are going to call on the priestesses to speak to who and what Oya is during this season of change, and how Oya has changed your life, and what is the relationships and things that you've had with her. Okay, so I am going to call on Oya Bumi, priestess of Oya, mother of 4 children, entrepreneur, diviner, owner of her own business, a powerful, powerful leader in the community. I just give thanks for Oya Bumi de Rosario for joining us. Please speak to Oya. Speak to anything that flows through you, from you, to Oya.
Lafia, I do pray Yellow Day for this opportunity to be on this edition of the Ask Yeyefini show this month, Oya season, Oya Ayode. I'm so happy to see you and to be able to share this platform with another priestess of Oya. I'm just loving what I see, just looking at you, and I feel you. So I'm just honored. So I do pray, and I do pray Yellow Day for just giving me the opportunity to be able to speak and talk and share. I was thinking, okay, what are all the things that I could think about to talk about Oya? And so before I kind of get into my spiel, I'll just share a little bit about myself. I became a priestess at the age of 8. Currently, the mademoiselle is above her 40s. Okay, so I've been a priestess for a while. And so I met Oya at a very young age. And I would say that my understanding of the goddess, has changed and continues to change. Who I thought Oya was when I was 8 years old, is a different entity than what I know Oya to be where I am right now in my life. And so I remember when I was younger, I thought of the goddess as this, as that buffalo image, and I couldn't see my tiny self fitting into that, or what that could possibly look like, or how it was that what kind of comes off as this very masculine entity really is such a graceful, beautiful goddess, but she possesses within that grace and beauty the power and the passion to run through town and wreck, and the way that she can go through a town or a community with water, with wind, and completely destroy. And so the evolution of my relationship with the goddess has really been about, as you said earlier, tiny deaths, that happen in life, losses, loss of relationship, loss of pieces of yourself that you think, you identify so strongly with. And so my relationship with Oya continues to expand through now, not what I see as losses, but before Oya takes them away, what am I willing to give up? And so what I want to talk about, my reflection for this particular season, I'm going to start with the Odu of Osa, which is the Odu of Oya in the system of Merindi Logun. And the proverb says that your best friend is your worst enemy. You are your best friend. So you, me, we can be our own best friend, and we can also be our own worst enemy. So how do we apply that, in this particular season? Well, it's an opportunity for self-inquiry, which I'm really big on. But it's an opportunity to use the tools of Oya, whip, rake, knife, shovel, um, a sickle, and all of the tools that the mother uses to go through your own life, before she comes through in a destructive way. So I love the fact, Yelode, that you shared the story from the Odu Osagunda, because I was going to talk about the proverb from Osagunda that says, secure your boat so that it does not sink. So I love the fact that you shared that story. But this season is about, securing your boat so that it does not sink. And the Odu of Oya, when she comes in the form of Odu, it is saying that in your home, there is a revolution. Um, the revolution could be covered up. It may not be something that is apparent, but in the season of Oya, there is revolution that is happening in your home, within yourself, in your relationships, and also in and around your health. So, my invitation with this conversation is to invite everyone to use the energy of Oya to focus on creating a personal revolution. A lot of the times, if you go and you get a reading and Osa comes up, however, she's coming in Ireo Ayewo, she's letting you know, listen, honey, I'm about to turn it all the way over. I will knock all of this down. And so as we take the knowledge of Oya and her energy, I invite us all, including myself, and I'm just speaking from what it is that I'm going to do for myself during this season, but invoking a personal revolution around health as we are in the midst of a pandemic. This is a wonderful opportunity for us to look at the state of our health, to bring about changes, to bring about behaviors that are preventative, as opposed to waiting until the destruction comes and then we try to get healthy. So it's an opportunity during this season to increase your consumption of fresh fruits and vegetables, your consumption of whole foods, not processed foods, it's a wonderful opportunity to look at your physical activities. So this could be a wonderful time to implement a new fitness routine. Maybe you have been working out and you fell off. So there could be a revolution around your health. Maybe you have health issues that are covered up, that lie in your bloodline, and maybe it hasn't come up yet, but you know that you're predisposed to certain things. This season is an opportunity to bring about personal revolution in that way. I spoke about, your intake, food. If you are into taking supplements, vitamins, minerals, this is a time where we have to start preparing for winter. Winter is coming. And so we need to start boosting our immune systems. In that way, we can bring about personal revolution in preparation for what can or may come. Also, when I talk about personal revolution in your home, this could look like changing your furniture around, just changing up the energy. Maybe you hang some new curtains. Maybe instead of waiting until spring, you do a deep cleanse now. What it looks like for me is purging clothing and just stuff. I said, you know what? I need to become more minimal. There's just too much stuff going on. And I've been traveling and I realized that, okay, I really have to minimize. So my personal revolution is around health and also becoming more minimal in the things and possessions, the things that I hold on to, because it creates space for more. So I think that that is one of the things that I really want to focus on for this particular Oya season. Having taken advantage of the season of Obatala, climbing up to the mountaintop and taking an aerial view, of life. And now we're coming down and getting into it, in the season of Oya. And so what are the things that we could do to harness that energy of change and transformation? Because change is constant. It's always going to happen. But Oya, the energy of Oya allows us to handle the change with grace. Some of us are very resistant, to change. But Oya allows us to appreciate the fact that with structure and perseverance, that we can ride the winds of change and bring about our own change. Again, it doesn't always have to be waiting until calamity happens before you start to say, okay, well, I need to change some things. A personal revolution is about starting that change your own self, to prepare for what is next and to take yourself to the next level using the energy of Oya. And these things require patience. They require you to handle it with grace. If not, you you don't show up in a way that allows you to be present because you're stuck in the past or you're worried about what's next. But Oya is really about being very present to what's happening right now, like in the moment. How do you deal with change in the moment? Does it throw you off? Does it knock you off your, if you're riding a bike or whatever, the bus or train of your life, does it knock you off and can you get back up and get back on and get moving again? And so Oya just allows us to be able to appreciate and ride those waves with grace. Another thing I wanted to talk about is that with change, and if we look at Oya in nature with storms and the things that we've seen, as Yellow Day said, Oya came in with a bang this year. So we've seen flooding and windstorms and different things like that. But what happens after that is a tremendous opportunity for people to prepare and rebuild in a new way. People find themselves being generous. They find themselves being kind to others who are less fortunate as Oya looks out for the underdog. So people start tapping into that energy once destruction and chaos happens. But it doesn't have to be that way. It's a beautiful response, but we can be that way anyway, using the energy of Oya. Again, calm comes after the storm, but when we can be in gratitude and thankful for knowing in the moment that every situation is temporary, the things that are happening to us right now, just like Oya season, it's not here to stay. It's going to be temporary. And just allowing the energy of change and personal transformation to move you to a new place as we move into the winter season. And in this way, by knowing and embracing, personal discipline around your eating, around physical activity, around, cleaning up and organizing, your life and setting things in place, then Oya allows us to emerge from her season with more wisdom. Then we come out of it as wise women or wise men, and we are more sage like. It allows us to have a different level of knowing. And so in this way, I'm going to go back to speaking about Odu and the Odu of Osa Ejionle, that says that after the fat is fried, we see the crisp that remains. So it is after we are invoking this own personal revolution, and invoking change ourselves, that's the fat frying. Afterwards, then we can see what remains. How are we different and changed and new in the coming seasons after Oya season? How have we been able to invoke that energy and use it and sit and be in a place of grace? So that's what I wanted to say about our mother, about this season, and how it is that I'm looking at the season. And perhaps it could be an inspiration or a help, to some of you that are listening and watching, in a way to just harness that energy of Oya for yourself, as opposed to waiting for her to come through and wreck. Not that she won't, but if she does, then you say, okay, this is temporary, and I can get back up again and prepare, to be ready for the next time. Prepare myself differently. So if people are getting sick in the winter, I'm preparing with what I'm eating. I'm going to bring about more physical activity, more personal organization, more discipline for myself. And then we come out wiser for the coming seasons. So I do play.
There's a question, Alafia, a question from to both Iyas. Right now, we're just going to address it to Oyabumi. As a child of Oya, made 11 years, Ocha, yesterday, what one key thing advice you would tell your younger priestess self when you made the milestone of 10 years? Adupwe Iya, Oya Olele.
What I would say is, and I feel like I kind of touched on this a little bit, explaining that I became a priestess as a child, that you will come to know the mother in stages. I don't think that there is like, this thing that happens. You're like, oh yeah, I understand and I get, oh yeah. No, it's just like your own mother. We get to know our birth mothers. We know her as a little child. We know her, as a toddler. We know our mothers after we wean from the breast. We know our mothers when she sends us off to school. We see in our own lives our own birth mothers change and how the relationship changes. And I feel like the same thing happens with the goddess, is that you're a baby in Orisha, and you're growing up. You're a preteen, right now. You just hit the double digits. And so, what does that mean? That means that you're approaching puberty in your priesthood. And so I think that making that milestone is just an opportunity for you to deepen your understanding and allowing, it's not something that you can necessarily control. We can get readings and divinations. We have our Ita that we have as a guideline, but we will come to know the mother in stages. And so I would say, be patient with yourself, be patient with your journey. And another thing, with this season is going in, like when I talked about personal revolution, use it as an opportunity, to go in, learning more about yourself and more about what's possible for you in dealing with the mother. What are some of her qualities? Do you understand them? We may not have to embrace it all the time. Most of the time, I'm definitely, oh yeah, not with a beard and not in Shokoto, but I do understand, like my ELOs used to say, oh, you're the, oh yeah, that thinks that she's Oshu. And it's like, well, not really, but again, it's just getting to know her in stages and being in a state of grace with yourself and with the goddess as she continues to show more of herself to you. So I hope
Thank
that
you.
makes sense.
Thank you. That was very, very good. Take your time and be loyal. Loyal. That's all. Yeah. Be loyal to your teachers, be loyal to your elders, but most of all, be loyal to what she told you when you were initiated. No matter what, listen to what she said to you. So that was perfectly said. Thank you so much, Oyabumi. So now we're going to bring the other goddess in. Thank you so much, Oyabumi. That was wonderful. So now we're going to bring Oya there, and then we're going to all start mixing it up and asking questions and going deeper. And I'm going to be getting some juicy juju, what to do during this time. So we're going to bring Oya Yode. Please speak. Give us who you are. Tell us all of the juiciness. But first, let me just say, this Oya turned out the Bembe to Obatala. I'd love to see her dance. She danced, and Oya said, "Get the whip." I put the whip. That woman, woo, that was the goddess herself. I'm glad I didn't give her the buffalo horns out of Oya. It was like, or her Irukere, you know. So she danced. So I just want to thank you. She came in with such grace. She brought all of her godchildren in. They stepped in. Oya showed up. You know, that's my favorite auntie. Thank you for that lovely dance. It was amazing. She was floating on air. You couldn't even see her feet.
I do play, yeah.
So now, after that, please.
Oh, Ielode, I do play Pupo. And thank you for giving this space, for creating this space for all of us. I've been a loyal Ask Yeyefini listener for many, many, many years. And so it's a blessing to be here. Bumi, my Egbe sister. It is good to see you and good to be with you. And Ielode, I'll start with a little short story. You talked about dancing. One of my first encounters with Oya was actually facilitated by you while I was dancing. You may not remember this. I was not initiated yet. We were in the village, and somebody told me to go dance for Oya. We were on Oya's compound. So I went to dance for Oya, and this lady was behind me with fabric saying, "Come on, Oya, come on." And I was like, "Oh, what's happening? What's happening? What's happening?" Right? So Oya, my first kind of spiritual integration with Oya was facilitated through the dance and facilitated through your invoking and asking Yeye to come. I was not even initiated yet. Yes. And that was,
remember that.
Benny, it was many years ago. And so that was learning Oya in a whole nother way, right? In that moment. And so I thank you for that. I was, a little 20-something-year-old who was, whatever, right? I'm gonna go dance for Yeye. Oh, really? That's what we're about to do. This is what's about to happen.
I love to call people out. So I was like, get her.
Benny.
Thank you. So tell us a little bit about what is it that you do? Because I'm not going to read the bio. I want you to speak to that first.
Sure. And then Benny. So I have the good fortune to be a priestess of Oya in this tradition, initiated through Oyotunji. I am relative to my spiritual life, the visionary and co-founder of Yeyefini, and our essence is around spiritual, cultural, and community evolution. As we think about what Oya means relative to revolution, how do we really impact the culture? How do we impact our community? And then how do we impact ourselves spiritually to continue to evolve so we can leave a better place for our children and also create a divine space for the space that we inhabit right now. I always say that I am Clarice's great-great-great-great-granddaughter and Betty and Lewis's baby, right? That's really all that really matters in terms of how I come into the world and what is significant about all the things that have been poured into me so I can be who I am and do the work that I have to do or that I've been charged to do in this lifetime. My work with women is through I Am Worthy Enterprises, and we're celebrating, educating, healing, and affirming women of the African diaspora. And we are trying to do the things that we've been told to do. That's really it in a nutshell, right? The ties, the wisdom of our elders. We're trying to do those things to the best of our ability in this lifetime. I always say my father's on the other side, and people say, because I hustle hard and I work hard, and people like, you need to slow up. I said, look, here's the deal. I am not trying to get to the other side and have to talk to my daddy about why I didn't do something. I'm not trying to hear his mouth. I'm trying to rest. So we go hard because we know we're accountable. That's really what that's about. It's about accountability. And the things that we made a covenant with Olodumare and our ancestors and the Orisha to do in this lifetime. So that's a little bit. I'm very fortunate to have an Elisha full of dynamic and incredible people. I have a wonderful husband who is a priest of Abatala, who keeps all this fire cool sometimes. Depends on the day, right? But so my life is good, and a part of why my life is so good is that, you know, Yeyefini Oya has been with me always. Did not have the good fortune of being initiated at an early age, but I was initiated when I was supposed to be initiated, right? Based on incarnation. But as I was thinking about the opportunity to be in this space and how Oya has been with me throughout my years on the planet, I thought I was taken back to the fact that I was always the cousin who wanted to go with my aunt to the cemetery. I was always like, where are we going? Let's go, right? I was always that child who was ready to go to put flowers on the graves and really to talk to them. Is what I was really doing, right? Communicating with them. I remember as a little one that Iya Egungun energy, right? The mother of Egungun energy. I remember as a little one, there were issues in our household. And I remember in church going to the altar to pray, but praying specifically to my grandparents. And my rationale was, you know, these people, I need you to help me with these people. I need you to talk to your children, right? And figure some stuff out. My grandparents who were deceased. Oya, for me, in this season, as I've been living it in a very dynamic and outside of myself way with all the things that have been happening, is really about meeting the resistance we have to fulfilling our destiny in this lifetime, right? So whatever resistance that exists within you, I so appreciate Iyo Oyabumi's talk about revolution and your own personal revolution. I think that when we consider the things that are in the light for us, and then the things that are in the dark for us and the shadow for us, the shadow side of things really is about those things that are resistance to fulfilling our destiny. That's not always something that's a negative. I had an experience that I want to share briefly with you this morning. I was grocery shopping for my mother, which is something I do normally. I was in the line, and the sister in front of me stepped back to me and said, do you mind if I pay for your groceries? And I was taken aback. I look like that. That is something that I have done for others many times. I've never expected anybody to do it for me, and was not offended, but was like, no, baby, I got this. She was younger than I was. You know, she had on her scrubs. It looked like she had just come from work. It was early in the morning. I was like, no, baby, we're good. No. She's like, I don't think that you can't pay for it. I really just want to do this. I want to bless you in this way. And I caught my breath, and I heard them say, if you can't receive this, then how can you receive all the other things that we have in store for you? Woo! And so then I'm all watery-eyed in the line at the Food Lion, right? But that was Oya in that moment, right? What's your resistance to your array? That's a shadow side, though, right? We wouldn't necessarily see that as a shadow side, but that's a shadow side. What is it that, whether it was my ego or my perception about what she could or could not do, whatever it was, what is your resistance to your blessing? And in that moment, I was resisting a blessing that was actually going to be a gate opener for other things, but that was the test. That was the test. You got to accept this with grace and humility and understand favor, so all these other things can start to flow in.
Yes.
And this morning was so beautiful from Waya and from my ancestors. It was so powerful and so beautiful that I had to share that. I had to share that. Waya in this season, another quick story in terms of, everybody, for folks who are listening, everybody has different experiences in how the Orisha communicate with you and what relationship you have with them, right? So this is how the Orisha communicate with me. I'll just relay it in this way. Have a very deep relationship with Kabiyesi Shango, and most Omoyas do. And so I was in the midst of some transition, and I'd ask Shango for something and he'd given it to me like that, right? I hadn't realized it because it came in pieces, but then I was taking a shower and he says, yo, I did that, right? That thing you just got, that was me, right? I was like, oh my God, I was ecstatic and just beautiful and excited and happy about that. And then he continued to talk to me. He said, he said, Oshun made me feel like a man. I said, word, that's good. That's nice. He said, but Oya made me feel like a king. I said, well, of course she does, right? Right? And I was arrogant with it. I said, of course she does. Because, for all of the reasons that we won't necessarily say in prime time, but for all of the reasons Oya made you feel like a king. The day went on. I was back at my shrines later in the day. This was in the morning. And I was back at my shrines later in the day. And he started talking again. He said, yeah, this is what I want you to understand. He said, Oshun, right, brings all of the beautiful, cultural, aesthetic, outwardly facing things for me. This is him talking to me, teaching me in the moment. He said, but Oya makes me go to those dark places so I can sit on my throne and be the kind of king I'm supposed to be. So I can lead in the way I'm supposed to lead. Woo! It was a beautiful lesson about Oya. Because that's what he was really trying to do with my little arrogant self, right? He was trying to teach me about my mama. That in order to be who you're supposed to be, you have to go into those dark places and wrestle with them and undo them and peel them back and really take a look at them. And then put some salve on them, put some honey on it if it's Oshun's honey you need, get the right medicine, and then go sit on your Odo. Then go sit on your throne. But you can't sit on the throne if you don't go to those places, because you're going to be knocked off very easily. So, my prayer and blessing for folks in this season is that you will think about whatever the resistance you have to your array is, and be open to understanding that in all of the ways that Oya can make manifest, because it won't always be, she's an enigma. It won't always be obvious to you. It won't always be crystal clear. She'll come to you with a mask that looks like one thing and it's really something else, right? So you have to be humble enough to move through what she's presenting to you and really be able to take her hand and let her lead the way. Because resistance is the thing that is created by our past experiences, it's created by karma, it's created by our egos, right? It's created by fear, it's created by a lot of things. And all of those spaces are the spaces where Yeyefini Oya can come and lay down with you on the mat and help you figure it out, So don't be so tethered to your resistance. Don't be so tethered to doing things the way that you've always done them. Oya is about change and transformation. As Iyo Ayabumi said earlier, and as Iya Lode said earlier, be willing to get into the middle of that storm and ride. And then when she sets you down where she wants you to be, where you need to be, right? You can't drive that car. You can't control to honor the Ayaba Adaramola. She said, Oya is the wind. Who can control the wind? Who controls the wind, right? So we pray that for each of your lives as you move through this season, that you will be open to the changes that Oya has to bring to you, that you will be willing to let go of any resistance that you have, and that you are able to delight in the surprises that she can bring to your life. Delight in the surprises. I was 47 years old when I got married. I'm not 47 now, but I was 47 or 46. One of the two, right? It happened very quickly. I was ready to kind of go do other things. I was good. I wasn't looking. But Oya's like, oh yeah, and here you go. Ta-da! Boom. Now go do that for a little bit, right? Go enjoy that. You've worked hard and done other things. So yes, be open to the changes that Oya can bring into your life. Oya is that auntie who will lay down with you in the dirt, in the mud, and get dirty with you, and cry with you, and dry your tears, and wipe your nose, and then say, we good? Okay, let's get up. Let's put ourselves together, and let's go do what we need to do.
Yes,
right? Ashe.
Yes, love it. Working through. Ooh, you dropped some gems.
Ashe.
You can't sit on your throne if you don't go to those places.
Ashe.
Because you will get knocked off. I was like, whoa, you dropped some gems.
I do play.
Drop some gems. Modupwe. And again, I said the dance that you did for my Oya
Ashe.
on my birthday, that was it. Because you know that's my favorite auntie. That was it. You were floating.
I do play.
Because you started out rocking, and I was like, come. And now I come to find out that that's how we met. I was telling you, come.
Yes.
And then I end up being your grandmother, your great grandmother in Ocha. Look at Orisha. Look at Orisha.
Benny.
You know, that is you dropped some gems. People are like, thank you for sharing that. People are like, this is awesome, encouraging. I need all of this. What is the resistant to your own erase? Don't be resistant to your own erase. That's the thing, because this is the season that, and that's the beauty of the thing that we do here in the Institute is that every month you go on a journey. You get initiated to each one of those shrines. We start with Alegba in January. February, we have Oloku. You know, March, we have Oshun. You know, April, we have Ogun. We're just going through Oshun. We're bringing all of this. So now we're in a cycle that all of the things that you've done leading up to this is why you can't sit on your throne without going into those dark places. And the dark places, as you said, you could blame other people and say, that's the darkness. But I say, hey, I got this. Go, I'm there with you. Humble yourself and come with you. Thank you. That was awesome. Both of the presentations. I'm looking to see if there are any questions at all. So far, everyone is just like loving this. I am just loving this. Because you know. So one of the things I wanted to ask you if you would be kind enough to share with us, because some of the people may not be aware of the self-empowerment intensive, and you were one of the graduates of that program. I would love for you to share that so that people will know the effect and the power of it. And the reason that I want to share it is because a lot of the people on here are in Ifa tradition, Lukumi, Kodomble, Vodun, and are as people in the diaspora, we're looking for a place or a way to make connection using the ancestral way, using some of the things from Africa, some of the things that we have evolved to using here, the combinations that we've done. And one of the things that the SEI, the Self-Empowerment Intensive, is that you can see that on my website on yeyefini.com, is that the ancestors gave me this in a cave. And the main focus of this was because for me, once I didn't know what it was when the system came and the signs and the seals, because we use a lot of seals. When the seals and that came to me, it was not about me knowing, I'm going to get this done. It came just through spirit and directed and said, this is what needs to be done. As I was doing it, I recognized that some of the shadow that we take in people from the diaspora going to get initiated just because you think you're ready and your reading said though, and you got the money and your godmother and your relationship and la la la, and you go in and you have not healed those dark places. The dark places of molestation, of abuse, of addiction, and not necessarily drugs, all types of patterns, things that you do just to try to find a sense of connection to community. And you do these things trying to explore and trying to find and create a family. Some of us have separated from our families because of the belief system, because we have to unlearn the Western system to put Africans' understanding, which is already innately in us. We just needed to be reawakened so we can come out of the cultural amnesia and the spiritual connection that we have. And so what I realized once I started was this was a prerequisite. If you're going to be in the priesthood, if you're going to be initiated, or after you're initiated, there are some dark places that we do not even remember that we have. And that's what the ancestors gave to me, because I realized that we were doing initiations of people and trying to empower, trying to put on the throne without sitting in the dark.
Gotcha.
And you cannot do that, because then you have a struggle when your Ita tells you to live a righteous life and you're like, whoa, wait a minute, I got so much going on. And then you try to do all kinds of stuff. And so that's why you see sometimes we find people who are addicted and are priests, are supposed to be elevated priests. They're doing, and I'm not putting anybody out in shame, because we all have our process of growth. But when you are a respected person and you're doing divination and your life reflects that you obviously don't know, that's the thing that I found very disturbing to me, because I was initiating people who had that kind of trauma. And so when I moved to Jamaica and I got this, I said, whoa. And when I went to Jamaica, I was actually opening a school for my children's rites of passage. And it ended up being an adult rites of passage, self-empowerment intensive. And in doing so, we are able to help people to go to those dark places in ceremony. Because the 5 days that you're there, it's no talking, no hello, and I read the book. No, it's about going under, having your ancestors jump through you, and you see them and speak to them. Powerful, powerful thing. And that's what my criteria was, because I remember having a godson that had trauma, and he was bringing the same trauma onto children. And that's when I found the need for this and the ancestors. And that's why when you pray for something, be careful, because it will come.
Gotcha.
And it came for me. And so that's what I want you to I just needed to give that background. I would say what SEI is. It's empowering. It is transformative. It is taking and dusting out all the dusty places from your life, from abandonment, all of the issues, all of the things that sometimes you can't put a name on it or a finger on it. All you know is that you feel empty and achy. And when you've been violated, you will violate other people, because that is the reality that you know. That is the home that you have. And for that reason is and the trust that you had as a priestess already to allow us to trust us to do this process for you to come through this was just very, very humbling. You know, I have utmost respect for you for the work that you have done. And you've always been very obedient and very consistent. And for me, and very respectful. That for me speaks volumes for you telling me how you know me and you love me and all of that. No, show up. There's a proverb that says, I can't hear what you're saying. Actions speak louder than your words. You always show up. I need you to explain the thing of the rites of passage that the SEI, the self-empowerment intensive that you went through, and share it just briefly.
Benny, yeah. I do play. I was in my mind checking a box, right? My god sister had gone through the intensive. I said, oh, okay, I need to do this. I was aging in Orisha in my priesthood. I did not want to work with people before I had done that body of work, because I didn't feel that it would be fair to other folk, and I didn't feel like I would be prepared. And so I went into it from a very intellectual, yes, the classes were extraordinary beforehand, great instruction, great teachings. You get to the weekend, you show up, right? And I showed up. And then Oya's wind started to blow. And the opportunity for me to peel back layers that I didn't even realize existed anymore. Things that I thought I had processed were put away nicely. The spirits, my ancestors, Oya, Oshun was like, they're not. So we just gonna work on these things this week, baby. That's what we gonna do, right? And that is what happened. It is a place where you are held. It is a place where you are given the opportunity to show up for yourself. It is a place where you have the opportunity to hold on to the hands of those ancient ancestors, right? Not the ones who went through all the trauma, not that we don't have trauma in every generation, but the trauma of the diaspora is a very particular trauma. So in this process, you have the opportunity to hold on to the hands of those ancient ancestors. You have their love, you have the love of a community of priests and priestesses around you, and also the other people who are your colleagues, your peers, and going through this process. So I would absolutely recommend it. Pre-initiation, I did not do a pre-initiation, but I do think it absolutely is an opportunity pre-initiation to do the work. So when you have the gift of the Ashe, when you have the gift of the Ashe and the ability to fulfill your Ita, whatever that is, that you do so with a landscape that has been prepared for you to do that work. And that is what the SEI does. It gets you ready to be the best person that you can be in this practice. So we thank you for the gift of that, Yelode, and to all who work in the Institute, all the staff who bring that experience off the page for all of us.
Ashe. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I wanted, because it's something for me to say it, but to have one of the graduates to state that is just powerful. Sure. Someone asked a question. Can you share how Oya may show up differently for a man who is a child of Oya? Anyone? Both of you, Oya Bumi or Ya or Oya Yode, or both?
Penny. I'll just quickly say my godfather is also a priest of Oya. And so I'm not sure it's different, but I think the ways in which Oya may show up with male energy or for men is also about healing, but healing in a different way, right? Stripping the preconceived notions of what it means to be male or female, right? Because Oya, when I say she straddles, she puts on the shokoto, she grows the beard. She also puts on the lapa and puts on the big gele. Men raised in Western society, and she can do those things without being confused about who or what she is, right? Men raised in Western society are very often put in a very particular box. And if you don't fit within that box or behave within the confines of that box, then in the secular world, in the Western world, that can create problems for you sometimes. So I think Oya gives a male person walking with Oya's energy or given Oya's Ashe, gives him the opportunity to really be clear about what it means to be stripped of stereotypes, right? Of masculinity, and be stripped of, I think in some ways, this infection of toxic masculinity, right? So you're not burdened with that as much, perhaps, in some ways. So yeah, I would also say just embrace the understanding that Oya has many, many faces. And some of them, wreck shop, and some of them, cook cookies, bake cookies. Right?
Thank you.
Yeah, I agree. Oya Yode, that the energy of Oya as it's presented to me is very masculine. If you think about how it is that she comes through. However, if you think about her being, tempestuous as a goddess, you think of that as a feminine energy. But mostly Oya comes off as being very masculine, but she is wearing a disguise. She has the ability to transform herself and wear different masks. And so why is it that, as a man, you can also be graceful through transformation, and be very firm in your masculinity while Oya, is doing you and working on you. And I think that was something great that you said about having to fit into, you know, um, this box of what you think masculinity is. But the beauty of African traditional spirituality is for you to kind of transcend above that, because these Orisha have male and female energies. It's a universal energy. So you can't have light without darkness. There's, polarity exists. So as an individual, as a priest, you have to look at the polarities of the Orisha as well. And you can be very firm in your masculinity, but put on your Oya skirt when it's time to dance with, dance for her. With your beard, it doesn't mean that you're feminine in any way, but passion exists for both of the sexes. And so having the energy of Oya on you doesn't make you feminine. And it doesn't mean that you have to respond in a way that is feminine, because what she's doing, if you think of ripping and tearing and shredding, to me, that is masculine energy, right? Because she's going out and changing things. And so I would say embrace the duality of the Orisha, as you learn with all of the other Orishas, but with Oya, just embracing that duality and having that grace and patience with yourself to accept that you're more than what you appear to be. Just like as Priestess of Oya, we are more than what we appear to be, because we could very well go and zip off the skin and come out something totally different. And that's just a blessing and gift that the mother gives to us.
Ashe. Thank you so much. That was powerful. There, someone asked, let me see, and that's why I said we're going to lead into our next part. Can an uninitiated honor the Orisha? And so you all also address, someone said many men are told not to cry early in life, which is toxic. Oya is the perfect balance for that. Yes, go into your darker self, and your dark self, and bring that out. Yeah, so thank you so much. So we someone asked, is there can an uninitiated person honor the goddess? And that's the next part that we're going to do in this last portion, is show you how to set up the altar. If you all saw my newsletter, I gave a little description and responsibility, a little way that we can do this is how we could create. Where did I go? Hold on. I can't find myself. Whoop. Where did I go?
You're there.
You got it. Okay. We see you.
We see you.
Okay, good. And so what we are asking was how to set up an altar during this time, because Oya, she is cutting us into the fall season, going into Babaluaye's winter. They work together. That's the thing, the synchronicity of how we work. It's not one Orisha over here and one over here and the women over here and the men over here, and you got to get this. It's all working together. So we're entering into the season of the death of 2021. So Oya, with her grace, is changing us for September, October, November, then December comes with Obaluaye. And so what we're doing is that we're changing, you're peeling off, like the story I said, is that you're peeling off your stuff, and you're going to become this healed and this wonderful person to walk amongst men and that, but always remembering who you are. So for the next 3 months, this is the fall season. You want to fall away, strip away, as Oyabumi was talking about. It's important for us to address our health issues, eat correctly, fast. This is my 3rd day of my fast. I'm cleansing out, this is my intention for this period, which is I always do that because it makes me prepared. And that's why I don't get the flu. It helps me, my body to balance and know itself. And so the way that we're going to do for those that are uninitiated is how to set up something for Oya. In my newsletter, and it's on my blog, you can get a maroon cloth, put it somewhere sacred, not in your toilet, not in your bathroom, someplace that you want to meet the goddess of change. And you set it up, you get a nice little table, you honor it, you pray, you wash the table down, you put your cloth on it, you get yourself a knife or a whip or something that represents her, and you're going to put that on this cloth. You get a nice glass of water. You're going to have a candle. This year, the reading of the year said be careful of leaving candles lit. So I recommend that you get those candles that you use with the battery that has like a flame going, just to keep that energy going. And you're going to put that there, and then you're going to be able to do meditations in the morning and in the evening, so that you can prepare yourself every day for her energy, to welcome her into your spirit, welcome her in. And so that at the end of the day, then you can thank her for what she has done. Like, oh yeah, your day is going to thank her for the lady at the grocery store. Bing! That was amazing. And then you get to speak about it here. Look at her, yeah. She's like, that's why I love her, because she's always got something that she's weaving. All you got to do is just ride her wind, and she'll lead you, drop you exactly where you are. All of that happens so you can drop it here. And someone said on here they needed you to say that story about you in the grocery store. And that's the thing that all of my Ask Yeyefini shows and my platforms of Teaching Tuesdays, Meaningful Mondays, my YouTube, all of them are about empowering the people to empower themselves and using this empowerment to change the world. And the way that you get empowerment is when you have information. Information, then you have knowledge, then you have wisdom, because you can apply it. So now applying this is, you're going to find somewhere in your home. During this time, you could set it in the east, because you're letting the sun rise on her. And you're going to put this cloth. You're going to put your glass of water. You're going to put your knife, your weapon, to represent her, or a picture of a buffalo or buffalo horns, anything that you know that you can invoke her. And when you do that meditation in the morning, you are asking Oya to accompany you, to reveal herself to you. And then you start watching for her. Watching for what she represents. Change your behavior more so than change your house. You know, watch what's happening with the floods. How people are now going to get the opportunity to have a new address. They have to reflect on why and how am I going to set up this new location. That's beautiful. And so in the meditation, what you're doing is you're writing a note to her, and the intention that you have that you want to go through for the next 3 months. That's powerful. That you're going through for the next 3 months, for September, October, November. And so when December comes, you look at it, you check it off, you thank her, you burn it, you put it into the universe, because it's made manifest. And you set your intentions. Set an intention with Oya, because she will follow you. Set your intention. My intention is for me to do a 21-day fast. That's what I'm doing now. And starting an intention on the days that I feel like, oh, then I jump on, because the first 5 days are very difficult, you know, sometimes, because your body and your mind has to go through all of that. Someone else on here said that they just started, this is the 3rd day of them doing all raw. So set your intention. She will help you. She's so loving. And you call on her and says, this is your daughter or your son, so-and-so, she's going to show up. And set your intention. And so that's one of the things that I wanted to share, is how we're going to take care of this shrine. So the way that I take care of Oya is on my platform, you can see the days that the Oshe Oyas, Oya and Shango, have the same day. They love the same kind of food, because they be together chilling, you know. And so some of the foods that Oya likes that you could fix for her is roasted eggplants. And you roast it, and you can put honey over it and give her that. You light a candle, some water, just say, Mama, I'm giving you this. Just thank you for the experience that you're giving me. And you claim it. Don't say, I want to. No, I have received it from her. Then you can make an eggplant stew. That's the one that my Oya loves, is the eggplant stew. You cut up the onions, you fry it, you put your tomatoes, you put all that good stuff in there. And then you put your eggplants in there, and you fry it up. And then you take that, and I put it over boiled yam or yam balls. That you take the yam, make me hungry now. You take the yam, and when it gets cold, you mash it. You make 8, 9 balls, and you put that 1 ball for a leg, but remember, and then you pour that over it, and give it to her warm. She loves it. Loves it. Another meal that you can have for Oya during this time to put on your altar in meditation and gratitude is amala. She likes the same kind of amala that we do here in the diaspora, which you're cooking amala with okra stew, and you cook it up for her with salt and all the good stuff in it. And then you put some palm oil over it and give it to her with a glass of wine. I even give my Oya a napkin. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom. She's classy. Oh, y'all come in there talking about she wiping her hand with the back of her. No, no, no. Because a true Oya, when she walks into the room, everybody thinks she's Osho. A true Oya. When she walks in, everybody's like, whoa, who is that? Yes, goddess. You know, can you handle this? When I peel this off, can you handle it? Another thing that I do give to Oya is that you get the black eyed peas, you cook it, and then when it's cold, you mash it, and you make 8 balls. And she likes that with pepper over it. And or either you can put honey over it and give that to her as well. She loves that, the 9 balls. Also, you can fix for her cornstarch pudding, which we call eko. You're going to take cornstarch, you mix it with cold water, and then you pour it into warm water. And as it gets thick, make it get very, very thick. And then you slice it into 9 pieces and you give that to her. You can also get red kidney beans and you can boil that. And then when it's cold, you mash them and you make balls, or either you can make it, there's a Haitian dish like that you can mash the the red beans, and you put pepper and gravy over it. Yummy, with a glass of wine. Yes, oh. Yes. Those are some of the things that I wanted to share with you in terms of some of the things to put on her altar during this time. Also, now I want to give you some of her magic. Because remember, she always knows her magic. Just as Oya, remember when she was married to Shango, and when she was married to Ogun, and she had Ogun had brass tools, and which he used for fighting, and he would go and slice. And when she left him, it was time to evolve. She left and she went to be with with Shango. Ogun then learned how to make those same tools out of iron. So she's the goddess of transformation. So she transformed us from trying to be fighting all the time and conquering to taking those tools and learning how to farm. Evolve yourself. Become sedentary. Make your garden. So she taught him that. And Shango was enamored with her when he saw her being so, who she is, and living with Ogun, and she felt that Ogun sometimes was a little bit like, rough around the edges. And she being this goddess of all of this sensuality and beauty and transformation and all of that. And Shango was like, damn, who the sister? And so what he liked about her is her strength, her beauty, her grace that she walked. And so many stories, I could talk about these forever with Oya, is that Shango, she showed him her worth, her power. When she saw him putting his juju in his mouth, and he would breathe fire. And she, put a little on her and said, damn, I can do the same thing. And he did not rebuke her. He was like, sister, we can work together. That's an intelligent man. When you see the powerful woman that is Oya, don't try to subjugate her. Don't try to make her some barefoot and pregnant. No, she'll have her stage of that. But her thing is, you got your man's back. That's why there's nothing you can do for Shango without Oya. Nothing. We can't get rain. Because when she got that fire and she started spitting that out, that's when you see the lightning coming before the rain. That's Oya. She said, my man is coming. I'm preparing this for y'all so that he can give him all of the ashe of the rain so y'all can have children and y'all can grow. And Osine and him can dance and say, wow, look at what we're doing. Oya is bringing the announcement that I'm coming. Shango brings the rain, welcomes it to the earth. The plants come up and we're able to eat. Collaboration. I love the stories of the Apatekis. Love them. So some of the things that I wanted to share with you, some of the ways that we can harness some of her energy during this time is making sure that during this time, the hurricane season, get yourself a maroon flag and put it outside your door. And don't think that it has to be, next year's cute. You got to put another one. I remember at the temple in Florida, our flag was looking like, ooh, really? And Efulayo told me that her and Olubushola went to change. It says, oh, it's a new time. The flags look raggedy. Oya says, I don't want that. Give me the old one. Give me the one with my ashe. I have fanned y'all and cleared you. Don't give me something that is cute. That's like giving, the Orisha, giving Oshun a champagne glass with Kool-Aid. You do not do that. You do not do that. So with Oya, she's like, no. Give me what I know has ashe, that has power. So that's what you do. You get yourself a piece of the cloth, you turn it, you sew it, or you can glue it and put it outside. And trust me, in every place that I've lived that has had hurricanes, my house has always been standing. It works. Another thing that we can do is open all of the windows and the doors to your home during this time, and periodically for the next 3 months, periodically just open it up and burn some cloves. And this is very, very good. You burn it on charcoal, and it removes spiritual blockages and bondage. When you feel like you're trapped, open all of them and just go through the house. And then when you do that, you sit and meditate and visualize what you want or you have to bring. That sucker works, and it works so fast. It works very, very fast. Another one is this is a beast, and I have it on my YouTube. Is you're gonna get 9 eggplants, the little small ones that you can get in the Asian grocery stores, and you get that. You wash off $9. You dry the dollars. You can add some palm oil to it, and you fold it towards you 9 times as you're praying, and stick those $9 in there, and then you put honey on it, asking Oya to give it to you, give you your money with loving sweetness and ease. And you pour that on there, and you get a purple candle and light that. Every morning you light it, every evening you light it, and let it stay for 9 days. That beast, a woman told me that she hit the lotto for it. She didn't send me any money. But anyway, she told me that she hit the lotto after doing that. She was just, Yeyefini. I'm like, how about $1? So, but it works. It's a money ritual. That Egun gave me that. And so that when you put on there and it works. And then after that, you take after 9 days, you take the eggplants and you put it in the river for her, because Oya is a river goddess. Another one that came to my mind this morning that I hadn't done in a long time. If you're in our Lukumi tradition, you know that the day of when the Yawo comes out and is going to be released, you have to take the Yawo to the market, because Oya is the goddess of the market, because the market is the place where you're being bought. Remember, the world is a marketplace. And so you go there. That's Oya's realm. The 4 corners, you can put different ashes of Elegba there and go inside and shop for Oya and as you're shopping for her, you're asking for things. Those of us know the ritual. We're not saying it here because it's a sacred part, but you can actually do that practice to go into the plaza. Oya is the owner of the plaza because she transforms everything. Everything that we're getting in the market is about human understanding and in evolution and relationship and community. The food that we get is going to feed us. It's just going to fertilize the earth, the people that we meet. And so that's one of the things that you would want to do also. Those are I have some other ones in my books on the household guide. I have some in the Meaningful Mondays book. Also has other things that we could do. Using Oya's time as a time of transformation, as both priestesses have shared, is a time to empower yourself. Empower yourself. Peel yourself off. Open yourself up. This is the time for you to get, because for the next 3 months, she's going to be coming through our homes, through our lives. And the things that you want to change about your life, you want a new house, a new mate, a new business. This is when you get because she is like, I'm loving this. I get a chance to take my horns and bang them together and call your Oya, call your mama, because she will come quick. She'll come blazing, because she does not come slow. All her things, like the chant that we gave earlier, that's why I chanted fire. So she will come. I love that Oya. It's not no yale yale. Oh my God. No, she's like, He was last month. I'm up in here now. Get some fire and transform yourself. So thank you. I don't have any other questions. What I want to ask now, if y'all would give us some closing remarks. I don't see anyone giving us here. Someone asked the same thing. What food offerings? I already gave that. Housekeeping. Does they pay attention to domestic duties? So yeah, a good housekeeper? Does she pay attention to domestic duties? Yeah, she. When you say pay attention to domestic duties, you know, Oba is the goddess of the home. You know, I think Oya got her a housekeeper that she treats very, very well to do her housework. But the Oyas that I know are meticulous about their homes. Very, very much about organization, cleanliness, so that you know where everything is. So it is, and for me, I think that's it because as the goddess of all of that, that's what Shango loved about her was her calm and her charisma. And she can run the household and gives another sister, pay another sister to run the house for her as she gives all of this glory. This is her. She's a queen. She's majestic, and not to say that it's menial work. She will do it when it calls, but as a way that she wakes up every morning, no, no, that's Oba. Oba loves the home, and she loves to do anything that's possible to do with it. I share. Okay, so in closing, because it's we have a few minutes to close. I don't have anyone else asking any questions. Let's just give us a little closing word, Priestess Oyabumi and Priestess Oyayode. Y'all have brought it today. This has been an amazing, 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 wonderful, wonderful, wonderful expression of all things Oya. We had her songs. We have her telling us about our health, telling us about going to the dark places of our lives, telling us to man up, showing us how to set up an altar so we can welcome her in. Awesome. Please, Oyabumi, we'll start with you. What are your closing remarks about this day and this time and who you are and that kind of thing?
Again, I do play Yellow Day for having me on this platform. I do play Oya Ayode. It was such a joy to share this space with you and hear your wisdom and just connect with another Oya sister. I just love it. Again, my name is Iya Oyabumi. I'm a spiritual health and wellness consultant. You guys can get at me. I'm on Instagram at Oyabumi, Facebook Oyabumi Di Rosario. You can find me online at www.vibrantlytransform.com, where I share my priesthood, spiritual readings, nutrition consulting, and yoga and meditation as well. So please join me. Let's get in touch. Let's stay in tune. And I'll just kind of close out where I started, going back to the Odu of Oya, where she says that you are your best friend and your worst enemy. Your best friend is your worst enemy. You are your own best friend. So with all the wisdom that we gained today, get in touch with yourself, sit with yourself. As the Iya said, work with the shadows and the fears and lay down with the mother and let her figure out how you can be your own best friend as opposed to being your own worst enemy. So I do play. And again, I'll see you guys the next time. I do play Yellow Day.
Ashe. Oya Yode, Jawa.
I do play. I'll share quickly words shared Oya shared with me when I was a Yawo, still in the temple. She said, I will never take anything from you without giving you something 3-4 times better in return. So remember that in the season for yourselves with Oya, as things are shifted and moved in your life, know that literally the next thing coming is going to be an extraordinary thing. Thank you, Iolode. Thank you to my ancestors. Thank you to Oya. Thank you to all of my teachers. Thank you to all of my students who are also teachers, and to my husband and mama. You can connect with us at Elisha Ife on a Facebook page. You can check out I Am Worthy Enterprises kind of inspiration, ancient wisdom, and inspiration space that we hold on the YouTube world. And we are grateful to have held this space with Oya Egbe and the Queen Mother herself, the Iolode. We're so grateful. And this is a beautiful way to usher in Oya season for me. Because sometimes as a child of Oya, as a priestess of Oya, sometimes we feel like we can be isolated from other folk, right? And the walk can sometimes feel very lonely for us. And so to bring her in this way for me was such an incredible gift, and I'm very grateful to all of you all.
Because your mama love you.
Ashe.
As you tore up that dance with that whip, girl. Woo-hoo! At my party, you tore it up.
Ashe.
You tore it up so well that you got free groceries. Look at that. Look at that. Because that's the one thing about that I said at that party. He says everybody that showed up for him expect a miracle. He does that every year. He says, and the whole year he's going to be giving you a miracle so that you come back and see what he's doing. So that was awesome for you. So thank you. I'm so humble. So let me do some announcement, but here are some of the things. Every single part of this was just so good. Deeply grateful for the vision, for the wisdom of these spiritual leaders, guidance, and elders. Someone says, I am, where is it? What? Where is it? What's somebody else? I should see this again. Modupa Iya, so thankful. So people are just loving this, loving it in the chat. And look at me, look at me, look at me. I have it going on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Well, age is just a number, baby. I got little skills that I got. My little godchildren and some of the people in my life have helped me. They said, no, do this, do this. They even showed me how to do it where I don't have a phone call coming in. So now I'm on fire. So let me give you some announcements of upcoming events. The Children's Rites of Passage registration is open on the 15th of September. Go register your children. This is a very important time. And as much as the children are now going back to school, they need to know how to do the meditation. They need to know how to throw obi when they feel themselves trapped in a situation, how to throw their little pennies, ask questions. Don't allow the peer pressure to get to them. The classes that the children have. And then last year we weren't able to do the retreat because of the COVID. But this coming year, we will definitely have it in June. The children, the boys are separate from the girls. And so we have tweens and children's rites of passage. We have the mediumship training coming up in November, the new mediumship. The retreat is at the end of October here in my new office in Winston-Salem. So and we're having our weekly Teaching Tuesdays. Ding, 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 ding. My new Teaching Tuesday is a platform that my Yemanja said that she wants me to dedicate to her. So we're going to be talking every Tuesday for 1 hour or less. Let's say 45 minutes. On Tuesdays, we're going to be doing the Teaching Tuesdays that's going to another level. You know, with the Patekis and the stories are going to be all about the female Orishas, as well as we're going to be talking about how the important role that women serve and how when a woman is balanced, the man has nothing to do but follow. So that's why Yemanja says she wants all of the women to know the power that we have, and our men will follow. Our children will follow. So it's dedicated to Yemanja, and it starts in October. The Teaching Tuesdays are now going to a big platform, whereas before it was just a little caption. Now it's going to be same thing, meditation, and stories. You know how I love to give a good story. Also, we're having, because she's interested in the power and grace of women. That's what she says. Give the power and the grace of women. Continue, please, to just do the work. I'm just so humbled with both of you being on the platform saying yes. When I asked you, y'all were the two priestesses that I knew I wanted to be on this platform for Oya. This is such a sacred time for me, where Oya is just allowing me to just go in, recalibrate, refresh, renew, and come out with new stuff. Obatala has been so wonderful in revelation. Oya now is giving me the push. She's the wind beneath my wings in the direction that I'm going. So I'm so grateful to both of you for being on this platform, and all of you, my listeners here on Facebook and on Instagram. Just continue to follow me, subscribe, all kinds of good stuff, and my newsletter every month, and Ask Yeyefini show the first Sunday of every month. Next month we will be talking about October is the Egungun, the ancestors, and this year it's going to be a little different because we're going to be talking about Gelede. Gele Day. I've never had that on the platform. So we're talking about Gele Day next month, which is October, that we go into the ancestors, and we talk about All Souls Day and All Saints Day. Then we'll be talking that little piece there will be about it. So thank you so much, everyone. And I will see you again on the Ask Yeyefini show. Please follow me on all of the platforms. And thank you, each and every one of you, for the support that y'all have given me this year over my Orisha birthday. It was phenomenal. People are saying I'm glowing. I feel like new money. I feel so good that everything just, Obatala just brought me so much grace and so many beautiful people to come through. In spite of COVID, I had over 70 people came to eat. You know, it was just amazing, you know, and the food was good. And then online, I apologize because we did not get the memo that we needed to let people in on the platform. But people found us in some other way. So go on there. Yesterday, I was in Voices of the Ancestral Voices. Go in there. I did a thing. I think I was proud of myself. And it was beautiful. So go in there, follow me, and just thank you, everyone, for all the support you all have given me over the years, and just keeping me mindful that empowering the people to empower themselves and using this empowerment to change the world is a proverb, is a definition, is the thing that I wake up and go to sleep with every day. So thank you for allowing me to do my work, which is of service, which is to give to you. When it's given to me, it's by the ancestors, so it's not mine. So I share it freely with you. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Odabo, Modupwe, Oya, Goddess, we give thanks. And I'm going to sing and chant as we go out again to Oya. And the chant, as I explained to you, which I got the translation from John Mason's book, is Oya, revolver who twists, turns things upside down, turn off, long life to you. The owner of children arrives, shout for joy. We turn off to meet her. The terror arise noisily. Who splits, has tradition, and sometimes wears trousers. So as I go out, I take this song with you. Ayiloda oyakuo, olomoleke yo ayaba. Ayiloda yakuo, olomodeke yo ayaba. Oyade ariwo, oyansa loro shokoto. Oyade oya masete kumbele. Oyade oya masete kumbele. Oyade oya masete kumbele. Odabo.
Ashe, Odabo.
Odabo, Ashe, Adupwe.
Odabo.